Hello everyone. Today we're going to be comparing two robots, Mova's new V50 and the Dreame X50 Ultra. Dreame launched the X50 Ultra earlier this year, and I have a review of it on my channel, and it remains a best-in-class option. This review will focus more on testing the new V50, but I'll be comparing them both throughout. Mova and Dreame share a ton of similarities between their products, and today we'll be looking at the differences between the two, put the V50 through a variety of cleaning tests, see how it holds up after exaggerated cleaning jobs, and I'll show you how to take care of them. The docks are different, but still pretty similar. They both have clean and dirty water tanks located on the top of the dock, and both tanks are large. Both robots have bag doors that remove, and on the Mova V50 there's a disposable HEPA bag and the cleaning solution compartment. The Mova has two cleaning solution compartments, one for all-purpose cleaning solution, and a concentrated solution for homes with pets. The X50 setup is similar with one cleaning solution compartment and a similar sized bag. Both have excellent mop washing without additional parts that require cleaning with the Jet Spray Dry Board, which uses jets of water to wash the mop pads instead of scrubbers. I like this setup a lot. It works very well and minimizes maintenance. The V50 has one extra trick up its sleeve, the Omni Dry system, with the ability to dry the dirt cup and bag between uses. This means that if the robot picks up any moisture while mopping and it ends up in the bag or dirt cup, the dock will dry them out afterwards to help prevent smells or mildew buildup. Both docks are pretty quiet when auto-emptying, and although they both look nice, overall I like the look of the white Mova dock more. To me it looks friendly, and the Mova's dock is superior with the additional features. Looking at the two robots, a lot of features of the X50 Ultra carry over to the Mova V50. They both have dual spinning mop pads, which can extend outward to clean along edges, and extending side brushes to reach into corners. They both feature dual tangle-free brush rolls, and I found the setup works very well. These high-end robots also have additional wheels for climbing thresholds with the Stepmaster system. In my testing, both had no issues climbing over thresholds when needed. The robots feature recessing LiDAR pucks for cleaning under low furniture, a suite of sensors up front, and their dustbins are identical. The dustbins are even interchangeable between both robots. The Mova has a little more suction on max power, with 4,000 more pascals of power, but in everyday cleaning, they're going to perform very similar and perform well across multiple floor types. Now for some tests, and let's first test the obstacle avoidance of the V50. I tested the obstacle avoidance on both hard floors and carpeting, with a variety of objects littered around on the floor. The V50 did great, dodging the cords and shoelaces and only lightly tapping into some of the objects. You can crank the obstacle avoidance sensitivity, so it'll be very gentle when cleaning, but in everyday cleaning I tend to have these features turned off for tighter edge cleaning around furniture. Regardless, neither robot will mind clutter. Next, let's test the mopping. On my kitchen floor, I've put down a bunch of soy sauce and let it dry and get stuck onto the floor. I set the V50 to mop this area 3 times with warm water and its highest water output. One advantage of spinning mop robots over roller mop style robots is their overall tighter edge cleaning. The Mova and Dreame both have mop pads that can swing out and clean under low areas and along edges. When mopping, you have the option to have it clean with warm water instead of cold. The dock will heat the water and load up the robot's onboard tank with warm water and dispense warm water on the mop pads during cleaning. This seems to boost performance slightly, and it's a very welcome feature. I put down a ton, and after the first round it grabbed a lot, so I ran it a second time and it grabbed nearly all of the rest. Keep in mind this is an extreme test, but the mopping performance here is very good, and both will do a good job maintaining clean floors in your home. Next, let's see how the Mova V50 cleans wall-to-wall carpeting. I've put down a variety of different sized crumbs and particles, set it to full power, and had it vacuum the room twice. One feature I love on both is that the robots can leave their mop pads at the dock when cleaning carpeting to avoid cross-contamination or dragging wet mop pads across rugs. Just like the X50, the navigation of the V50 is excellent. The robots will first border the room, then clean the center of the room in nice straight lines. Edge cleaning could be better because it's relying entirely on the side brush and the main brush rolls can't reach the edges of walls. There's tons of customization options for how you want it to clean in the app, so for instance you can have it quietly clean your home overnight, or you can have it run full blast and vacuum each room multiple times. Another feature I like is that you can set either robot to vacuum or mop rooms up to 3 times per cleaning, whereas most max out at 2 passes. After they finish cleaning the room, they'll vacuum the room again, going a different direction. This helps work the carpet mat better and gives the robots a chance to grab anything they missed. I use the feature often. The result was excellent, only missing some debris along the edge where the Wave brushes couldn't reach the wall. Otherwise, it did excellent and is right up there with the best cleaning robots available. Next, let's see how the V50 handles a free-for-all of kitchen crumbs while also mopping. Edge cleaning on hard floors is great. The Maxi brush constantly adapts and does a good job grabbing debris along baseboards and corners. The Maxi Mop Robo Swing is cool too. One mop pad extends outwards, and the robot will swing the mop under low clearance areas for better mopping coverage. The result was excellent, barely missing anything, only some stuff it flicked out of the way, and the floors are mopped clean. For a final test, let's see how the V50 cleans up pet hair with an extreme pet hair pickup test. On this red rug, I've grounded a bunch of fake pet hair, and I've also added longer hair of multiple lengths to test the tangle-free function. These robots are getting too smart for my red rug, and the Mova treated it as a big obstacle to avoid, particularly the black edges of the rug. So the result here was not as good as I was expecting, as the robot dodged the edges of the rug intentionally like they were a cliff. I'm sure I can tweak this in the app settings to just have it drive over the rug, so this is probably a combination of user error colliding with robot smarts. I went over the carpet afterwards with another vacuum to see what it left behind. I let the Mova self-empty because I wanted to see if it would clear out all the hair that it had collected on its own, and it had no problem doing so, which is great. I did overwhelm the system with this test, and a small amount of longer hair balled up at the open end of the brush rolls, so not a perfect result, but that was a lot of hair at once for the robot to clean. I found the tangle-free function of these Dreamies and Movas works very well in everyday use, and I would check the brush rolls monthly and grab any strands left behind. As far as what the robot left behind, even though it didn't like this rug and didn't vacuum it thoroughly, it also didn't leave very much behind. I just let the V50 run its self-cleaning cycle. Let's see how it looks after all those tests, and I'll give you some maintenance tips for taking care of either robot. The dock is holding up great. The wastewater was filthy, but even after all the mopping and vacuuming at the same time, the jet spray dry board was totally clean with no debris in the sink. I don't think you'll have to tend to the dry board too often. Taking a look at the robot's dirt bin, the auto empty worked well with only a little leftover debris. However, the filter was packed with fine dust. They're claiming the filter is self-cleaning with these models, but that's sadly not the case, and you'll still need to vacuum or wash the filter regularly to keep the robot cleaning well. Thankfully, the V50 Complete came with several extra filters, so you can just rotate them out and clean them as needed. I would check this filter at least weekly if you're going to be running the robot daily. Because of the auto-empty system not sealing to the bin perfectly, some debris was in the area where the dirt cup sits. I would check and clean that out occasionally. There was just a few crumbs, and it could just be dumped out. The mop pads are very clean, with only one having a small amount of soy sauce residue along the inside edge. The pads are removable and washable as needed, and the robot came with tons of extras, so you can replace them as they wear out. The Wave brushes had no tangles, but there was some dried residue on them and the brush area. Using all-purpose cleaner, I would occasionally clean the brush roll housing, bottom plate, and the brushes can be wiped off as needed. I forgot to show it, but the brush rolls slide off and remove from their chassis for easier cleaning when needed. When you put the brush rolls back in, they have to sit flush or the bottom plate won't install properly. Make sure the tabs on the bottom plate are tucked into the brush roll housing, and it'll sit flush with the rest of the brush housing if installed correctly. Using a gentle cloth, wipe off the various sensors around the outside and front of the robot. I would also occasionally wipe off the side brush to remove any residue that the brushes are holding. It's replaceable as needed, and my V50 Complete came with a spare. That's all there is to it. Both robots do a great job taking care of themselves, and their maintenance is minimal, though not totally hands-off. So there you have it. Another excellent robot from Mova. The V50 is right up there at the top tier of spinning mop robots available. It's powerful, versatile, very smart, and has endless cleaning options within the app. They both feature excellent mopping, clean very well on carpeting and hard floors, are quiet in all but their max suction settings, have good battery life, and are easy to take care of. Their tangle-free setups work well, and the auto mop washing is excellent. My complaints are minimal. Mova and Dreame need better robot filter cleaning at their auto empty stations to help cut back on user maintenance. They claim the filter in the dirt cup is self-cleaning, but sadly they're not, at least not well enough. I would like if the edge cleaning on carpeting was better on both, but it's a very common robot problem where their narrow main brush rolls can't reach the edges of walls. However, that's about it. They're both pretty awesome. For Black Friday, Mova is running a great sale on the V50, and I think either robot would be an excellent option, so don't be afraid to find a great deal on either. Once you have one and see all the benefits of how well they can maintain your floors, as well as clean places often neglected, like under furniture, they're hard to live without. I always enjoy reading your comments. Please like and subscribe, and don't hesitate if you have any questions. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.